Hello and welcome to a quick vibe coding update video. I just want to touch on this a little bit more as I've concluded my fourth vibe coding session. I'm about 45% of my weekly allowance used. That's the way this works with Claude Code. In the Pro package, it's about 20 bucks a month. You get a weekly allowance and they break that out into multiple sessions you could do a week. So I've gotten through 4. And I kind of want to show my progress and what my thinking is with the project, some of the value I'm getting out of it, some lessons learned, etc. So the project, I mean, I've in 4 sessions I've created a lot. Let's go ahead and bring up the game. I've got the server running. So I went with this is a placeholder name. If you're watching this video and you have some suggestions about some cool Linux distro ideas. I just don't want to use anything that's been used or is already out there, like your Ubuntu, Kali Linux, Parrot OS. I want this to obviously be different, have its own name. I've got a placeholder, Cyber OS. And we do have some edgy wording in here. Welcome to the underground network. We'll fix that later. What I went for though was I build out each prompt before I start my session. I have like 10 prompts going in and I usually get to like 7 or 8 of them. Pick up the next session with 9 and 10 and then roll into what my project plan is. So I have a project plan, I've got milestones that I'm trying to hit, all that good stuff. And I've recorded all of my sessions in case this did turn out pretty good and I wanted to share that or teach anybody else. The problem is I'm doing it for the first time, so I can't really make how-to videos when it's like my Pen Test Plus videos. I can't really teach that subject because I'm walking through that for the first time, and I'm not a master at it. You can't teach it when it's your first time and you're learning. So it's more of it's more me documenting my learning. Same with this. I'm kind of just documenting what I'm learning. Someone else out there might be interested. So cores, storage, the network, this needs to be removed because you're no longer, I wanted to step away from the whole Tor thing. But it's okay right now. Let's just walk through. This is supposed to simulate a Linux installation. We begin our installation, we choose our username, which I've considered if I was ever able to make a multiplayer game of this, it would have to be a unique value. Or something about the profile would have to be unique. I've taken a very minor database class, so I have some foundational understanding of some things. So, along with web development, and I've done some web boot camp stuff, but I'm not. I don't do this stuff full time. It's a hobby. So workstation, I can rename it or name it whatever I want. Time zone, or I can leave it blank. I've had some considerations here with the time zone of making a quest system unique to where you place yourself in the time zone, but much more future state. And then additional languages as well. But again, much more future state, because I have a lot of hopes and dreams out of a game that I would like to play. Can I actually bring that to life and show somebody it? I don't know, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So we're just going to install. The domain would be something you could revisit later too. So simulating our installer. Our first login prompt, again, down here. I want to get rid of that at some point, but I don't want to waste a prompt. I could just go in and change it in the code, and that's probably what I'll do anyway. So we get our first login. We kind of have our. So right now I've thought about this a bit too. Our tutorial is kind of just outputting at the top of our terminal session, and I'll look at if I could do that better. Anyway, so first thing the user is going to want to do, and I haven't built all this out yet. Okay, let's just look. So email right now, no connection. Our currency wallet, our Wi-Fi. We can scan for networks here. We can use the GUI a bit. No internet connection settings. So I did implement the reset progress because every time I test it, right now it's saving to local storage and I have to clear local storage and then recreate the user. So now I can, without recreating the user, I can reset the tutorial. I have my notes, which this is going to be more like a code editor at some point. And then our file system directories. So let's go ahead and do a scan. We'll run that, simulating scan, network scan. So now we can connect. We're going to connect to this underground network. And this is going to, well, let's just do it, walk you through. All right, so you have a local IP, but internet access isn't guaranteed yet. Try opening the forum or checking your email. Okay, let's do that. Access is blocked. SurfaceNet gateway detected. Identification verification required. You don't have valid credentials. So my vision is not so far in the future. IDs, identification, are required to get on the internet. And this user is trying to avoid that. And what you have in this time are individuals starting their own internet. So you have you have smaller wide area networks, let's say that, being built up. Okay. Why this matters: SurfaceNet routes through legacy internet infrastructure that requires identification verification. So we need to enable this relay. And once we do that, setup is complete, we get an email right away. Our badge system, or the badges is working, so open that up. Welcome to the underground network. Of course, I haven't fully built this out yet, but we can open the email and then, welcome your username. You've successfully connected to the underground network. And I need to do some work here, right? But the point is, now we've got access to this web form, and this is kind of like a dark net. What I really want this to be, so there will be a mission board here, but there will be like a dark net style wiki. It's like, hey, this is this group's internet infrastructure that you're accessing for the first time, and it's kind of going to lead into the bigger story. And one of the big driving focuses for my vision is that I might want to go, maybe I never do hacking and I play this game, and I just do investigations, blue team stuff, analyst. Because again, if you looked at some of my other videos, I'm not a pen tester, I'm not a red teamer. I know enough into those things, and I like playing. I like games like Hacknet and Uplink. But what about for the person who doesn't, or what about for the programmer? So I want to introduce something where you can level up, and you could be a red teamer, you could do blue team things. Having that red team understanding helps you move along that path. And then the ultimate dream would be an MMORPG where people had to play together and you had to team up to solve puzzles. That would be the ultimate dream. But okay, let's bring it back down a notch. For this MVP, I just want to be able to walk through a couple tutorial sessions, and I want somebody to be able to walk through tutorial sessions as a red teamer, as a programmer, and as a blue teamer. Red teamer and blue teamer, hacker, cybersecurity, you could just even be just a sysadmin. Yeah, they do cybersecurity. Can I go in and just pick up a mission and go jump on a network and do a job for somebody? Maybe it's, looking at logs and figuring out some type of an issue and, working down that path. Or the red team stuff. And I want to introduce some CTF style stuff that I've learned if I can in a simulated environment. And I have to be careful with the way that I word things because Claude specifically has been in trouble just recently for somebody using it to do bad things. So I have to be careful about how I craft my prompts so that I don't cause myself issues, and then see what can I build. Can I get a user to walk through up to at least level 5 and then maybe build out their character a little bit? Or it's not really your character, but it's going to be your system. You know, you can improve it, get a better processor, buy more memory, and then how those things actually are going to affect your terminal session and your capabilities, what programs you can run and scripts you can run. Anyway, I should probably keep this video short. It's a learning experience at what the capabilities are, what I can do, and I haven't even gotten into the full-fledged back end of this yet. It's just the front end and then the problems that it will create. So thinking about my next session, what I want to do. If you have done any of this work or have any suggestions, ideas, feel free to comment them. I'm always I'm here learning, and I'm creating videos because I'm learning, and it helps me process the information in my brain. I have to put it out into words, and those are things that I'm working on now. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.